Hi, my name is Lara Zakaria, aka the Foodie Pharmacist. If this is your first time listening in, welcome. I like to talk about different topics in functional medicine and nutrition, and today I'm going to be talking about intestinal permeability, aka leaky gut, and 5R protocol. What is intestinal permeability? Why do we want to address it, and why is it important? And how do we use the 5R protocol to do that? So first of all, I wrote a series on this over at Integrative Kidney Solutions, so inkidney.com, or you could go over to @Integrative Kidney and read the whole thing. It's much more detailed than I could go into in today's short video. So if you're interested in this topic, I encourage you to navigate on over there, and I'll put the link in the comments. So first of all, what is leaky gut? Leaky gut is also called intestinal permeability, or sometimes it's referred to as intestinal hyperpermeability. And essentially what it means is the breakdown of the tight junctions or the connections between the cells in the GI tract. So essentially, if you imagine that you've got a long series of cells that connect and form your intestines, it's a break in between those cells. And because there's too much space in between, things can leak through, and they end up, instead of being inside the digestive tract, they end up leaking through and getting into circulation. And as a result, it can impact your ability to digest foods properly, absorb nutrients properly. More importantly, proteins can sneak through undigested and enter circulation and cause inflammation and cause even more damage. And it can also lead to increased dysbiosis, meaning imbalance of good bacteria to bad bacteria, or the overgrowth of other pathogens like candida or yeast. And some of those little critters can actually end up sneaking through the leaks and end up getting into circulation and causing even more inflammation. So why does it matter? What happens if you leak? Well, intestinal permeability has been linked to diabetes, or increased risk for diabetes, obesity, and cardiometabolic disease. It's been linked to autoimmune disease and allergic disease, as well as skin conditions like psoriasis, eczema, cognitive decline, and other neurological degeneration, as well as kidney disease. And in fact, there's this fascinating area of research called the gut-kidney connection that talks about the interplay between not only increased risk for kidney disease from intestinal permeability, but also all the comorbid conditions are associated with increased risk of kidney disease, like diabetes, hypertension, and obesity. So luckily, we can fix it, so that's the good news. And what we do is we use something called the 5R approach. Now, some people call it the 4R. Some people refer to it as a 6R protocol. I usually use a 5-step process. And what we do is we kind of use this to address some of the underlying factors that contribute to leaky gut, as well as to help to give the system what it needs in order to heal the damage and reduce inflammation, of course. So what are the 5 R's? Remove, replace, re-inoculate, repair, and rebalance. So first is first, we want to remove the potential triggers. So anything that could be causing inflammation or contributing to the damage of the mucosa, we want to get rid of it. So that could be food allergies or food sensitivities. It can be certain medications that can damage the GI, like PPIs, which is a class of medications used for acid reflux, or even NSAIDs, things like ibuprofen and aspirin could contribute to leaky gut. And we might also need to address dysbiosis, the overgrowth of bad bacteria or other pathogens, by using either antibiotics or antimicrobial herbs. So that is usually something that you could do some testing to identify what the potential problems are, and then your functional medicine provider would be able to outline a protocol for you to follow in order to address that remove piece. The second step is replace. So remember I said before that intestinal permeability can reduce your ability to digest food properly. And so we'll want to provide some support to improve digestion. So that could include things like digestive enzymes, or betaine, Swedish bitters, or other motility agents to help improve constipation or address diarrhea or any other motility issues in the gut. Step 3 is to re-inoculate. So that means now that we've gotten rid of all the potential bad bacteria, we want to rebalance with all the good guys, all the commensal good bacteria. So that could include using probiotics. It definitely would include using prebiotics, making sure you're getting good prebiotic fiber that feeds all the good bacteria, so it has a good, healthy environment to grow and thrive in. And you can also use traditional fermented foods, things like fermented vegetables like sauerkraut, kombucha, and yogurts, for example, if you can tolerate dairy. The fourth step is repair. So now that we have kind of gotten rid of all the bad actors and helped to improve digestion, now we want to focus on supporting the healing process. And there's tons of different herbs and nutrients that help to do that. So things like butyric acid, which is found in high quantities in ghee, for example, and an amino acid called L-glutamine, which is really rich in bone broth or could be taken as a separate supplement. These help to rebuild the lining between those leaky cells. You can also use some herbs like marshmallow root and slippery elm, for example, to help to heal the gut. There's lots of different ways to address this, but your functional medicine provider could outline a protocol that works best for you. Last but not least, step 5 is rebalance. So this is after we've done all the work to remove the possible offenders and to promote healing. We want to make sure that we address any factors that might contribute to the leaky gut recurring. And that includes everything from maintaining a good diet long-term, looking at factors that influence gut bacterial imbalance, as well as lifestyle factors like stress modification, addressing sleep issues, and exercise. Believe it or not, all these things contribute to the health of your gut as well as the balance of your microbiome. So it's really important long-term that we continue to work on this. So that is it on 5R and leaky gut. If you want to learn more, remember I wrote a whole series on this over at Integrative Kidney Solutions, so inkidney.com, or go over to the Instagram at Integrative Kidney, and I will put the links for that in the comments. But if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. Have you had any experience with the 5R protocol? Have you heard of leaky gut before? Is this the first time that you're hearing about it? I want to hear from you. And thanks again for watching, and please tag anybody that you think would be interested. Have a wonderful day.